We're on Fakahatchee Island in the 10,000 islands of the Everglades. The lovely research assistant and I, who make up the Florida Explorer, have paddled numerous hours to get here. We came here in May of last year to find what we have found now, which is this old cemetery. We're on a 3,000-year-old island made over a period of 300 years by the Calusa Indians. So they came from the mainland with their shells, because that's what they ate. They lived on the coast, dumped their shell refuse here, and over a period of 300 years created this basically quarter mile by quarter mile island. During the Seminole incursion, that period, the Calusa Indians, Timucua, Appalachians, on and on, all the Florida native Indians, who we consider Native American Floridians, who were here before the Seminole, were wiped out and or melded into the Seminole. These guys were the guys around when DeSoto and De Leon and all those guys, Narvaez.
Panfilo de Narvaez.
That dude. And Cabeza de Vaca, when all those guys were exploring Florida. And that's one of the things that really gets me anyway, is that this is man-made. But it was made by ancient man. It wasn't made by somebody digging out dirt for the Miami Metrodome or something. It was made by guys on little skiffs carrying a basket full of shells at a time. Anyway, over the course of time, late 19th century to the mid 20th century, families lived out here. People came out here because there were no regulations, pretty much as there are now. I'm pretty sure you couldn't just put up a chickie and start living out here, but there really are no regulations, and back in those days there were none. You came out here, you made your life. Well, numerous families did that. One of the families that came were the Daniels family, though. They lived actually on Daniels Point, which is about 1.5 miles across Fakahatchee Bay. But they came here because there was a schoolhouse. There was a 13 pupil, I think it was 13 pupils at one time, schoolhouse. They imported a woman from Wisconsin. She taught school for a number of years. So people lived out here in buildings and they had homes. Now last year when we were here, we found some remains of a coquina house and or shed. I'm not sure if it was a house or not. It was really small. And we found a cistern over on the coast, basically on the coast of this island. So through sheer serendipity, when we're coming in today, when we're putting in here, we ran into a guy named Corey, and I forget his last name, who's a grandson of Ted Smallwood. I didn't get a chance to ask him his great-grandson or whatever, but one of the guys in his party said this is the grandson of Smallwood, and he confirmed that he was, there is. And he said there are supposed to be 3 cemeteries on this island. He's only ever found one, and that there were numerous ruins, building ruins, as well as 3 cisterns total. We've seen one. We're going to try to find the other 2 today. But the primary motivation for coming all the way out here and putting myself and the lovely research assistant through sheer hell was this cemetery.
It was a pleasant paddle. Eek!
Heck of a paddle, wasn't it?
Eek!
All right. Here we have some Burnell Daniels, 1966. He wasn't even 40 years old. You got it okay? Something J. Sands, 62 to 33. He was a pretty good age. I don't know what that thing is. That's pretty cool. There's another Daniels, Mary Ann Daniels. That looks like my grandma's headstone. I was led to believe through research, not through anybody misleading me, but I had understood from research that this was all way overgrown. But as you can see, it isn't, and it is, just as they said, right on the path. Just as this guy mentioned as we were coming in. We had it from a follower of the Florida Explorer Facebook page who told me where to come. Her and her boyfriend marked it out for me exactly, because we tried the other side of the cistern last year. We got lost in the woods. We couldn't even get through the end of the woods. I knew from a video that I'd seen earlier that this is the 2-year-old child. He died, I think he drowned, I'm not positive. There's actually an article on this person. 92 to 40, 42 to 44, so that's another baby. But anyway, they told me exactly where to find this, and so shout out to her. I forget her name, but when I do the photo album, I'm gonna mention her because I appreciate her and her boyfriend, whose name I don't know. But they hooked me up with. Up until that time, talking to her, I was under the impression that there were only 2 landing spots in the whole island, and turns out there are 3. Here we go, 1855 to 47. That's good age. And 54. That's way young. 54 years old. So this is the Fakahatchee Island Cemetery. I see an old barbed wire fence over there. They must have ran cattle on this or ran something on this. There's supposed to have been a pig at one time out here. I don't know if it still is. I hope we don't run into anything like that. If we do, we'll have to...
We'll take care of it.
Take appropriate action. I'd rather not. As John Wayne once said, bullets cost money. So there's an old fence post there with some barbed wire. I don't know if that was to keep the pigs out of the garden or what, but oh, that's another thing. I read an article that was published either in 1965 or from 1965. It might have been republished, but it talked about a couple of guys, friends and family members, who had taken a trip out here, and they said they found a cemetery with the house right behind it, or they found the house with the cemetery behind it. So there's a house right around here somewhere. As you can see, looking out through the bush, I mean, if you don't know where something is, if there's not a path,
We're going to find it.
you could go hacking your way through this stuff from now to Kingdom Come and never find anything. But there are clearings, according to the Google Maps that I checked out, the satellite images. There are clearings out in the interior. We're still pretty much on the coast. I mean, we walked maybe 15 minutes from where we put in, if that. There's another fence post over there, so this might have been some kind of a lane or something. I don't know. So anyway, that's that for now for this. I'm gonna try to find some other stuff. I'm gonna photograph this
Here's a
and sit around. Since I spent however many years trying to find this site, I'm gonna sit here and enjoy it for a few minutes. So, on behalf of the lovely research assistant, who is hands down the best videographer that I personally know, we're out.